Oh, hey, y'all. Big baby tour underway, in the thick of it. What does it mean? What's the word when you're like in the midst of something? Like on Bronco. It's up and running. We're going. We just did New York City. Remember that Pace Picante sauce ad? New York City. I can't stop saying it like that. I'm now in North Carolina. And I was just in South Carolina. Of course, the proceeds from those shows are going to the that bitch Helene, the mess that she made. So next weekend I will be in Atlantic City, and then I'm going to be in Washington, D.C., my hometown. So exes, enemies, come on out. Watch me finally win. I, I was saying that, of course, I'm going to like split my pants during the show. A lot of people from my high school are coming from that. So at least come watch, that odd dynamic. Then I'm going to be in Denver, Atlanta. You know it. You know how this works. Love you. Come out, see the big baby tour. Grace O'Malley's going to be with me from the Plan Brie podcast. Ian Finance will be with me from Plan B. And then we have some amazing openers in all the cities. So come on out. I was just in New York hosting the Friends game show, which I don't think I'm allowed to say that much about, but it is so sick. There's a fly in my coffee. Okay, so I'm in New York and I didn't realize I was going to stay there, and we used to really bang podcast episodes. Remember that? Remember when we had our shit together? Sorry, remember when I had my shit together? Pat's like, you've never had your shit together, sweet pea. But I was in New York and I was like, oh God, I feel like we're gonna have to do a rerun this week, or I don't know what to do for the podcast. And I was like, you know what? I have been touring, and the fans from the podcast, I love them so much. And I'm like, I can't do that to them. They're coming to shows. They're like, this episode, I learned this, and this episode, this was, and I was like, I can't do that to them. So I do Mark Norman's podcast. And I was like, you know what? I'm uptown. Grace O'Malley from Plan Brie said that I could borrow her Barstool Sports podcast studio. I'm gonna do this. It was like 7:30, and I was like texted Hannah Berner, texted Grace O'Malley, and I was like, can we do like a sick podcast like right now? It's gonna be a little bit late. And they showed up in their, what is it with this, the girls in their 20s now dressing like they're in Desert Storm. They show up with all the pockets. There's so many pockets. See, if can we do a game where I will send, I don't know, a thing of liquid death to anyone that can guess how many pockets these two young, gorgeous stars have, the camo pockets. Anyway, I love them. I'm very excited for you guys to hear this episode. Hannah Berner, Grace O'Malley. Let's go.
Bap, bap, bap. You know what my favorite nail biter is? At this point, I am on the edge of my seat. It's really both of your wardrobe choices.
Okay, I didn't wear a necklace.
I'm on the edge of my seat. One day you are just dressed like you work at Home Depot. The next day you are Gossip Girl. You are Serena. And then you one day are just like,
yeah. I was laughing at her and I go, oh, my turn. I'm so scared.
I mean, you are just like full Tim Allen now.
Wait, Tim Allen, but if he's
and then you're in like a bandeau tube top, orange tube top in your special, armpits out.
That was, some guys are into armpits.
All guys are into armpits because they look like vaginas when you close them.
Yes, and when they ask you to send a dirty pic, you just take a pic of your armpit.
The fact that you have made your armpits like, I mean, I bet they have a website.
And they're wet, baby. They are
wetter than.
I'm Botoxing my armpits tomorrow for the first time.
Stop. We need to discuss this.
I didn't tell the person. I literally I've never done Botox. And I go, I've had enough of like, can't pick outfits based on my sweating problem because I'm sweating. I'm an athlete. I get adrenaline. My body sweats. They say it's healthy. That's what I've told people. But it's ruined podcast episodes. It's ruined filming.
Is it possible to ruin a podcast episode? Can everyone just calm down?
I've ruined every podcast episode. I've already ruined this podcast episode.
Okay. Is it smell?
Like, as in I'm wearing a blue thing and like all the clips, everyone's just talking about the blue sweat. It doesn't smell.
That's huge. That's fine.
I did the After Midnight show with Taylor Thompson. Yeah. You were the first guest. And I remember
By
that.
the way, I do think you might be scared of me. You just tried to.
You were the first guest.
You were the first guest. No. When I was on it, at one point, the like head guy was like, Hannah, can I talk to you for a second? And they weren't saying that to anyone else. And I was like, how do I get fired from literally a show I'm basically doing for free? Like, how did I get
Cost
fired?
you money, probably.
So I go in and he's like, your armpits are really bad. And I was like, and I'm wearing a white shirt, but it's like soaking wet. So they pull me aside and they have to blow dry me. So then between every take, they had to blow dry me. And at that point, I was like, I'm not going to make it in this business if I have this
My
insane
armpits are
sweating
crying.
problem.
Yeah.
I also do sweat a little here.
But you know, well, that's the
crotch
whole
sweat.
thing, though, because the reason I didn't get Botox in my armpits is they told me the sweat has to go somewhere, and it's usually your crevasse.
My thing is my crevasse is already just like, I do have one of the wettest, tightest pussies anyway. So it like comes out. Thank you. So it's like, I might as well at least cut it out of one place. Sorry, I know she has male listeners. So I was just trying to, I don't know how to talk to male listeners.
Did I have male listeners?
Do you have male listeners?
I think I do.
You have more than me.
I might. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I have accidental boyfriends who listen in the background. They go, what is that?
I don't know. Do you look at your breakdown of
97% women?
That's mine too.
When guys listen, they come up to me and they're like, I listen to learn about like why my girlfriend thinks the way she thinks or something. I don't think it's because they like me. They're just trying to
And the
figure
poor
out
girlfriend is like, I don't like horses. Stop talking to me about horses.
Wait, so when did you guys meet? Like, how long have you been friends?
You attacked me on the street.
Yes. I didn't want to bring it up.
Wait, she could see you? You didn't blend in?
I saw the legs.
She saw my sweaty.
You just saw floating head?
Sweaty
I saw a wet
pussy.
crotch.
No, I was just walking around the East Village, and I'd followed her. And I support women in the arts, so I knew of her, and she was like Hannah, and I was like Grace, and then Grace has the best energy.
Obsessed.
So immediately I was like, "You're."
Sorry.
I said, "I'm taking you in," and she goes, "Actually, Whitney's taken me in already." I said, "Oh, that's actually a better choice
That's
than me."
not true. That's not true.
No, this is before she met you. She goes, "No, I already have a mentor, so I'm good."
I actually waited around for a call.
Two crazy women texting me.
And then I abused my power to have your number, and I called her one night hammered, and I was like, "Do you drink?" Because we were having like a big debate if you drank or not.
At like 1 a.m. Grace,
you know what?
Grace
This
is
is fascinating.
FaceTiming me.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't. Or you really in secret?
I just do it when I'm alone.
You
No,
either do it or you do it and don't tell anyone.
So I'm not sober,
Uh-huh.
but I just have no interest in alcohol.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I love food.
Okay. That's
I
your
love
drug.
food.
But also you're very like, are you pretty type A? I never drank because I was like, I'm going to fall
I need
behind.
to win. Exactly. I was an athlete.
I don't want to be any weaker.
I was getting drug tested during college. Also alcohol, like I get less witty. Like when I'm drunk on stage, I start laughing before I get the premise out, and everyone's like, "This is bad," and then I just start shaking my butt. Like I'm not a fun friend to be drunk around. I'm not like, it's just more. I'm just like, I get quiet when I'm drunk because I don't have to entertain anyone. I'm just
You're not insecure. It solves all your problems.
So I'm just a quiet, boring, normal person when I'm drunk.
We can't have that.
We can't have that.
It's not lucrative.
We can't have that. But I was out. I was doing shows and I was alone in my hotel room, 12:30. Grace, who I've never talked to on the phone, is FaceTiming me, and I'm like, she's in trouble. Like, why else would she call? Like, she's Whitney's drug trafficking. She's in a freak off with Whitney and Joe Rogan. I need to get her out.
That sounds nice.
I just answer, and she's just like, "Do you drink?" And I go, "Clearly you do."
Next morning, I'm like, I'm so sorry.
No, I think I gave her a
power
speech.
to have your number.
I gave her a
Like, you were
speech,
so
and I
nice.
said, if you're going to be a great comedian, you can't be blacking out. And that was very mother.
Oh, yeah. I
and
mean, it didn't work for
overstepping
Richard
of me.
Pryor or
No, I know.
George Carlin
No.
or any of the greats. Okay, so Garth Brooks is a sexual predator. This just in.
Do you know
Tough.
what? I do have to say, I watched Garth Brooks' documentary, and I gave a whole speech on Giggly Squad about what a great guy he was.
You
I
watched that and
defended
said,
him.
wow, great guy.
I felt like I don't know what I was going through at that time.
I defended him because Tom Segura makes fun of him nonstop.
because he's a serial killer.
Well, he made a video for his Facebook, which, by the way, it's like when you're older and like famous and like going like, hey guys, like it's hard to do. And he just did it in a super spooky way.
Wait, so Tom is feeling very validated right now.
Probably.
Yeah, it's doing
Probably.
Tom's a psychic. Tom should talk and figure out who's involved in the freak offs because he knows what's going on.
He really has like, I mean,
had a
his
hunch.
finger on the pulse.
I do have to say, other men are very good at scoping out which guys are bad. They'll never tell anyone.
Yeah,
but like your own husband, like I'll meet a guy and I'll be like, he's so nice. Like he has blue eyes. My husband will be like, creep.
And he's so nice. He has blue eyes.
He's tall.
By the way, same, I think, women with women. It's like the Amber Heard trial was happening. I was like, she's lying. And the guys are like, what? No, you're not allowed to say that. And I'm like, women know.
Yeah.
When women are lying.
Women, it's like how you know when a girl's flirting with your man by like literally just her smile and you're like, you're trying to him.
What are you doing?
And the husband's like, she's just a nice
It's like when you go on
person.
a double date with your guy and you get in the car and like, that was so fun. I'm like, what the was that? And he's like, what? You and that girl seemed like you were getting along. You're like, are you insane? She was so rude to me.
We were fighting the whole time.
The entire time. She was belittling me. You didn't hear that? And he's like, huh?
You go, you guys love each other.
How did you miss that? Do you know what I mean?
Me and Carl really like the steak. I don't know.
Yeah,
It
it's
seemed
just
like a good night to us.
Like, go birds, cool. But
It
like,
is- that is so funny because your guys will become friends just because they're sitting next to each other. You ever seen comedy shows like two guys? I'm like, how long have you guys known each other? And they're like, we're just sitting next to each other. We're girls. I'll be like, we can't trust her because of her eyebrows. We can't trust her. And they're like, have you spoken to her? I'm like, no.
she draws on her eyebrows.
You can't.
She's not trustworthy.
can't
I
be.
just did the tattoo eyebrows.
It looks really natural.
It's a game changer.
Wait, so Whitney, what
I don't
do
need it. I don't need it to look natural.
If I want to take my career to the next level, what do I do to my face?
Tough question.
Because this is like one of those TikToks where it's like, okay, guys, tell me how to be hotter.
Now, thank you for thinking I've done a lot to my face.
And I'm not
It's a
saying
compliment.
that.
It's a
I'm
compliment.
saying you're from LA and you've seen mistakes.
When I've
You've
seen a lot of
things
but
gone
also
wrong.
when people say like Whitney's had work done, I'm like, honestly, that's
Well, your
it's a
skin is
compliment.
porcelain.
That's
That's
very
what
nice.
my mom said.
I do a laser called Althera. I've done it every year since I was maybe like 33. I just did a laser.
See, I'm 33. It's time.
See, I'm big on
Lasers.
to get ahead of it, but not lasers that thin your skin.
Do they hurt?
Yes. If it doesn't hurt, it doesn't work.
She goes, man up, athlete.
Yeah, I do not do facials. I do not do any of that I'm sorry. I think they're a waste of time. I could do this at home. I'm just like, I could do this at home. I could do this at home.
Putting moisturizer
Why are you
on.
rubbing oil on my face? And then and then you leave. I feel like I'm
And you're
broken out for
bleeding.
like weeks. But
Yeah.
I do now. I do sauna. Like try to do it like every other day, just to like clean your pores out type of thing.
Yeah.
I've used there's a book called The Wrinkle Cure by Dr. Perricone. I think his products are wildly overpriced. Don't buy his products. There's other cheaper products that have the same ingredients: alpha lipoic acid, DMAE, and ester C topically. I started using that when I was like 23 because I couldn't afford his. I got like a concoction of it, and then I make my own face oil. It's like grapeseed, tomato seed oil, and a bunch of stuff. I lube my face up constantly. When I get up in the middle of the night to pee, I have oil by my toilet, and I put it on my face. I sleep only on my back with noise canceling headphones.
Like a vampire.
So that I don't, because as soon as we lay down, all of the product that we put on our face gets absorbed in our pillow. And I never like sleep on my side, you know?
You could be a like TikTok famous, like fake dermatologist.
That's really funny.
You're welcome. Wait, you look like you drink water.
I'm really bad about water, but I really try.
You're like, I do tomato oil. I do baby's
drink
blood
up
on my
the face,
face. No
goes
water.
in my mouth. Water is really where I draw the line. Water is a scam. I mean, look, here's the thing.
I don't trust water. I don't like water.
I'm not crazy. This whole scam. Like, I'm so done with these scams. You have to drink eight glasses of water a day. I did
Also,
that.
I can't live if I'm peeing all the time.
I did that for 15 years, and they're like, "Well, there's fluoride in the water." I'm like, "Well, then why was I drinking eight?"
Yeah, it's like
glasses of water a
tampons
day?
with lead.
Crazy.
So what are we to do?
I don't know. Someone someone died of toxic shock syndrome recently. I was always so scared.
Can
of
I
that.
admit something to you guys? For the male listeners, you could skip this part. I was a pad girl. I used pads till I was 18, and that's why I think I'm so pretty and have a great personality.
How do you wipe though?
The way I wipe is
I love that you whispered front to back
no, I do
into a microphone.
I do front.
Is this a?
That was
I
a
do front
gimmick.
to back, but when you do your butt, you can't do it towards your vag. You have to
But
do it
how
away.
do you wipe? Just show me.
Oh, okay. Wait, I have to figure it out. Wait, no. First I go like
The
this.
shame.
I go side, and then you put it down. You go.
So you don't. Okay, but you don't. What if you just peed only?
That was me just peeing.
Whoa.
So how am I supposed to
Well,
wipe?
I had this amazing.
Wait, no. I don't wipe like that. I wipe like this, but if I'm pooping, I go like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
but how does the wipe go?
The wipe. Wait, why am I like feel like I've never wiped
Now
myself
I'm glitching.
before? I'm glitching. Wait, pee, pee, normal pee, a little fart, pee, pee, pee.
I had a gynecologist. Did she lose her license? Yes, she did. Because she was too far away. When you're a gynecologist who delivers babies, you're not allowed to go on vacation or go within 90 miles. Because if someone that you're working with goes into labor, you have to be close by or something. So she just like, yeah, exactly. Like she went somewhere or something. And so, but she gave me like all these little like life hacks. So she said, you're never supposed to wipe. You pat and hold.
I don't pat and hold.
Pat, hold, because it's like too abrasive on the skin.
Yeah, and then you have little pieces left.
That, and then also, if you want to get through your period faster, first of all, there is something called, is it spironolactone? Did I just make that up? Spironolactone, I think.
That helps. That's the green stuff you put in a drink.
That's spirulina?
Spirulina.
I think it's spironolactone. What is this? Oh, it's a blood pressure medication. It's a diuretic. It can produce swelling related to the heart.
Whitney's the literal doctor.
Yeah, blood through the pee without losing. Yeah, okay. I think it's spironolactone, but forget that. Don't quote me on that. Please don't yourself. To try to make your period go faster, you can like.
I just pull out and pray. Like day 4, I take the tampon out and I go. I don't care.
I'm done.
I'm done.
I'm done. The black tar that is forthcoming is someone else's problem.
Exactly.
So if you're like going on a vacation in a couple of days or something, you put in a tampon, get in the bathtub, wait, take it out, put another one in, get in the bathtub, and do it like 5 or 6 times. And your period will go faster.
That's crazy.
That's good stuff.
Works.
But when I was 18, had never used a tampon.
Wild.
And I was like half a virgin at the time.
Half of a virgin?
Y'all know about half virgin.
If you can't remember,
you're half virgin.
He had a small dick.
You know, like when you're like, let's do it, and then he starts, and you're like, oh no, and you're like I can't do this. Like he starts, and it's like a tip, just the tip, and you're like, I
didn't even think just the tip ever successfully happened.
If you fully lost your virginity the first time, like call your mom. Like you're not okay.
Oh, your mom answers when you call.
Wait, I'm so sorry.
Weird brag. Cool.
Lost the point. I'm winning.
Yeah, you know your mom's phone number.
Like, I'm back to square one. No, but like I personally, it's because I'm very, very tight to the male listeners.
Well, they had to cut me 2 inches when I had a baby, so
2 inches.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a tennis ball.
Is everything tennis to you?
She loves sports.
Is there any other metaphor?
Trying to get her to work at Barstool Sports for a while now.
She loves sports. No, I love sports. I set up a meeting with ESPN and I got there and they were like, why are we having this meeting? And I was like, I love sports. And they're like, we can't help you.
Is this because you think I have male listeners?
Yeah, I for some reason think your audience is 80% listeners and it's just girls being like, why does Hannah keep talking about her tight wet
I mean, this is not what I've seen on Giggly Squad at all.
You go, I don't know who you are.
Because we're in Barstool Sports offices? Like, what is happening?
No, so I was a half virgin. And we're going out and I realized I got my period and I was like, does anyone have a pad? And my friends were like, what?
A what?
And I had like a nice mom. Like my mom wasn't a slut. She didn't use tampons. She was like, we use pads. She's alive.
Why are you talking about her like she's crossed
just
over?
Like back in the day, I feel like there were like crazy moms who were like, she was just a like simple, nice, we use pads. Not these slutty moms giving their 14-year-olds tampons like freaks. Anyway.
The one thing I'm saying, the only reason I think I use tampons is because I played sports. Like every tampon commercial was like a girl playing tennis. Like actually,
which is tennis is sponsored by Tampax. Tampax is sponsored by tennis.
How did you play tennis in a pad?
I was with a diaper of like heavy. Like I definitely didn't change it enough. I was literally in a heavy diaper, like walking like this around the court. So this is like, you're so right. I should have been using tampons anyway, but she never did. So she was like, we don't do that. So then my friends were like, use a tampon, and I'm like, what? And so I like was alone with the tampon, and I was like, I didn't even know. Like I've never been down.
You know what threw me though? Remember OB? Yeah. Which had no applicator.
That's
I was
insane.
Like, I know. I guess I'm just rolling up toilet paper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I do use toilet paper most of the time instead of a tampon at all.
Yeah, because it's
with
intrusive.
A thong, it kind of just
it's intrusive.
Yeah.
So then my friend was like knocking on the door, like we're going out, and she was like, "Do you want me to just do it for you?" And I was like, No, I don't need to be double traumatized.
No.
So that's how I lost my virginity that night. I shoved it up. And people don't talk about, if you put it kind of the wrong angle, your day's ruined.
I've been doing it wrong for many, many years. 22 is when I found out how to put a tampon in.
How were you doing it before?
Laying on her
People
stomach?
say hot dog. It wasn't hot dog.
Oh, like you weren't going in. You were just putting it on your
People
clit.
saying it was hot dog. They're wrong. They're liars. They're cheats.
It's just like
Making it up.
They're trying to
They're
make
making it
themselves
up,
look
trying to
good.
make me look stupid.
Wait, so
Yeah.
where did it go?
It was just like halfway all the way. Like it was
Didn't
just,
it hurt a little?
yeah.
When you
It was
sit
just
down,
all, I was like, oh my god, tampons are the worst, right, guys? And everyone's like, yeah, they.
Do you know when your
suck. I'm like,
tampon's falling out and it's like the worst feeling in the world? That was your life.
constant?
That's why you're so funny.
I taught myself. My mom was like out of town, and I was
Stop.
going to a pool party, and I was just like, oh, I guess I gotta. I read the manual and never looked back. I didn't read it right. I'm dyslexic.
Or maybe you have a short canal.
Well, mine is also really tight. I don't think anyone's gonna believe that though.
so how do you find out you've
It's
been doing it
classy.
Yeah,
wrong?
how
say it
did
like
you
that.
know?
So because it would fall out.
Oh, try my tampon again. Put it back in.
And at one point, Brianna was like, "Dude, if I have to help you put it in, like as a good friend here, I will. But you're totally not doing it right. It should not be
So
falling
this was
out this
last year.
much."
This was last year.
I'm just going to get right into it. KiwiCo sent me some stuff. They sent a panda that is the only thing my son will like. Like, it's why my son started crawling, because I would put the panda and he would go, put the panda up, go. And then they sent these amazing toys that were like this soft wood. And they're just these clever little jigamajoos. I don't even know what thingamabobs. Lots of thingamabobs. Okay. As a parent, you know how precious playtime is, just not for fun, but also like brain building. These aren't just stupid toys that are just meaningless. Like, they actually help them learn, build certain parts of their brain. I can't have a dumb kid. I've worked too hard. Okay. I can't have a kid that is just like a mess, you know? So my favorite, the KiwiCo's Panda Crate, it's a bi-monthly subscription for babies ages 0 to 24 months and perfect for making learning fun. Each box is packed with science-backed, expert design toys that support child-led play and encourage open-ended exploration. What I love about KiwiCo is how thoughtful they are with everything. Their baby products, they free of all the nasty chemicals, BPAs, phthalates, and lead, which, by the way, there used to be lead in toys, huh? Doesn't that kind of explain what's going on? Don't we kind of know? Everyone's like, what's wrong with people? We used to eat lead? I don't know. But these are non-toxic. They're water-based paints, finishes, Henry. So, because, look, sometimes a baby's playing with something, like there's this kiwi, it's like a little wheel. And sometimes out of nowhere, he will try to eat it, which is, I don't know what to tell you. Thank you for not putting poison in my baby's toys. And it's also amazing because they are in partnership with the Seattle Children's Hospital. Aww. And it's not just about playtime. It's about brain building made fun. KiwiCo Panda Crate helps support Henry's development in ways that feel natural, exciting, from exploring new textures, learning about shapes. It's the perfect tool to help my baby boy grow. So unlock the brain building play with your baby with KiwiCo Panda Crate. Get 20% off your first month with code Whitney at KiwiCo, KiwiCo.com/panda. Oh, we can't afford that. That's 20% off at KiwiCo.com/panda with promo code Whitney. Okay, Liquid Death. Okay. You guys, here I am reading podcast ads, and look what I'm drinking. Liquid Death. Didn't even know we were doing a Liquid Death ad today. Here it is, right here. This is my peach agave. Actually, I'm going to take you with me, and I'm going to show you something. Okay. I'm in my friend's house, and my friends know if I'm coming to visit, okay, there better be Liquid Death everywhere. Say no more. I'm not even going to read all this copy, okay? I'm not reading all this copy, okay? I'm going to let this speak for itself. This is the requirement. If I'm going to come stay at your house, I better have every Liquid Death. Okay. Is it a sickness? Yes, it is a sickness. My current obsession is the peach agave. It has like vitamins in it. It has a little bit of caffeine, hydration. I love the Berrylicious I'm obsessed with right now. The watermelon water, because you guys know look, I love Liquid Death, the regular water, but like water, I'm a princess and I need my water to have berries and it needs to taste like watermelons and berries and peaches and Right now, you can get $5 off any case of Liquid Death. Go to your local grocery store, buy any case of Liquid Death, mountain water, flavored sparkling water, or iced tea, which I am imbibing right now, and get 5% off instantly through Venmo. Oh, sick. When you text them your receipt, you're gonna just get $5 in your Venmo. If you buy this, it's cool. Just head to liquiddeath.com/Whitney for all the deets. Did you have a big wedding?
No.
Would you have a big wedding?
I don't know.
You don't know. But like, would you want a big wedding? Does that idea appeal to you?
Yeah.
Okay, but that might change.
It'll change.
Because once you start getting attention the way we get attention.
I hated wedding attention. It was literally
I hated pregnancy attention.
I think I'll hate that too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want any attention that's not earned. I don't want anyone to have to come to celebrate me unless I have earned it. I even like when they don't want to do it and I switch them and I earn them. I called it a green room before. I was like, I'm in the green room waiting to go down the aisle, and I was like,
Wait, the green room?
It's called the bridal suite. I was in the green room. I was literally like,
that was sick.
I've never.
So I'm up there doing my set. Those are wedding vows.
Our wedding vows, 2 comics. We were getting heckled. Like my friends were like yelling stuff. It was funny.
You're shooting crowd work clips.
Yeah. I was like, did you get that?
This is gonna hit on TikTok.
I asked my mom what she does for a living, but then I did not. I was going around being like, "Are you guys having fun? Like, are you having fun? I'm sorry. Are you having fun? Is everyone having fun?" Like, I wasn't that. I think when girls don't get the stupid attention that we force on ourselves every day, they're like larger than life. Like, oh, wow, bride is a celebrity. You know, when you're like afraid to talk to her.
Yep.
Me, when I was a bride, I was like, I am so sorry that like the drink line is so long and I made you guys come 2 hours and like what am I doing? Like, and also I felt that like me getting married was like the least thing I was most proud of. Like, it was cool that I found someone that I wanted to marry, but like shooting my Netflix special was better.
Always.
That was God.
My Etsy order has been
Wait, by the way,
that's the only notifications I allow are Etsy.
What are you grabbing on Etsy?
What do you,
honey? I will stop this podcast
That's
just
your
to
new
check this
addiction,
notification.
Etsy?
Etsy's my Amazon. I get toilet paper off Etsy,
and it's like homegrown, grass fed.
It's not leaving balls in my pussy, that's for sure.
Don't come for my.
I will.
On this pod.
I don't know about.
I've been
all
so
this.
open and vulnerable about my wet type on this pod.
Oh, my horse plate made it.
How does your man feel about the horse girl stuff? Does it turn him on? Is it new to him and it's exciting?
His mom was a horse gal. They all just want to marry their mother at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
What
did you say?
I've heard that. I don't know. I don't have any relationship. I've never been in a relationship. I don't know anything. So I just go, yeah, no, I've heard that around. I've heard it around.
I want to host the show where you're the bachelorette.
That's my hell.
Can we?
Let's get a Kickstarter.
And that's why we have to do it.
We have to do it.
Like, I want to do female comics as the bachelorette.
But I don't think this is a toxic thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's your fault.
Yeah.
I think
This is some Jerry Springer happening.
It's more.
I am at the fault.
But I just mean, I've done this too, where and we've talked about it, and you talk about it in your stand-up, I'm like, I immediately turn into a bro around guys.
I just bro out before I get hurt, you know?
Yeah, I did. I used to do the same thing.
Pillow.
I used to do the same thing. Like, I couldn't just like.
You never dabbed him up and then gave him a little kiss on the cheek.
No, I ball tap him.
Do you think it's because you grew up with? You have how many sisters?
3. Younger.
Or is it just like a Boston thing?
I don't know what it is. I think it's just rejection, and it's
too scary.
Filled the void of.
But you'll do comedy every night.
Yeah.
But you know what? I
It's
get
healing.
that. Like, you'll get something that seems really scary. Like, I can't drive, but I could do stand up, and it's like,
you don't drive.
I'm a New Yorker, and I
love that New Yorkers are like, we're the tough, badass New Yorkers.
No, we
can't drive.
We can't do anything.
Well,
if there's not a bodega open at 12, I can't
function. We went somewhere. He couldn't get a parking ticket out of the
No,
machine.
I couldn't.
He was afraid. I live in like the woods, kind of.
All we can do is yap. All we can do is yap.
It's wild.
That's all. I couldn't even get into your driveway. Like, I was so scared. I was like calling 911.
You are setting women back like 40 years.
No, 100%. No, but this is a side note. I don't cook. Cardi B, I don't clean. Early in the relationship, like I didn't pretend I did, and like so I've set a standard.
So you don't. What do you do?
I make that
tight
money, and I got that tight ass.
Make that money.
I said, Mama's working.
Got it.
And but I do have to say, I do have masculine energy.
Yeah.
And I definitely can bro out.
What does that even mean?
Which one? Which part?
Masculine energy.
Again, great question.
I hear
you commented on our outfits? Yes.
I hear this
you
a
called
lot.
me a
What's that? What's that masculine energy?
It's not masculine energy. It's stereotypical gender role of what masculine energy would be.
Yeah.
And that's what a female comic is. Like us taking control of a room is stereotypical. Us being funny, stereotypical masculine.
Although stand-up, everyone's like, is male-dominated. It is the most feminine thing. You're on stage. You're
gossiping.
I need attention. I'm going to
secrets,
gossip. I'm going to complain.
observing.
Everyone needs to hear me talk for an hour.
Yep.
It might be male-dominated, but they're doing it that's our thing.
Yes.
Talking, yapping.
You pulled a bunch of like 8 female comics in a Netflix brunch. I don't know if you remember this. You pulled us all together and you were like, girls, comedy is for women. It's made for women. It's who we are. And then you're like, let's talk shit about other female comics. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You're like, we're not talking to her right now. But anyway,
here's the great thing about you never need to talk shit about female comics. They'll talk shit about themselves.
Yeah,
you don't need.
No, they're the best.
You don't need.
They're the best.
Is that the one where you wore the bandeau top?
Oh, my tits were out.
I was on the edge of my seat.
I was holding it down.
It was like in Flashdance when she's wearing like just the it's like not a cummerbund, yeah, but it's just the top of a blazer, and I just saw strings, and I was like, what's happening?
It's literally because I got something from Zara that like doesn't fit my long torso.
Mm-hmm. Zara's off the rails,
and I didn't try it on. I am type B. I'm like a perfectionist type B. That's what TikTok said.
That's my doctor.
That's not true. At least WebMD you search it. TikTok just yells at you.
I was like,
okay.
no. Damn it.
But also right now, like you're working, she doesn't need a relationship, but it is nice to learn about yourself.
It is always a journey touring with Grace because she came off stage and I think it was Dallas, and I was like, how was that? She was like, it was amazing. It was my first time doing stand-up sober. I was like, what? The
It was so awesome. Usually just have 5, take the edge off.
Well, it's crazy what your brain will tell yourself that you need. She was like, I need this amount to do this because you can get, and you tell yourself that's the only way I do it. It's kind of like even stand up. Like I'm writing my first new hour and I was like, I can't do it again. And it's like your brain is making up like structure that doesn't need to be there.
It takes a while. In my experience, it takes a while every time you do a special. Like how did I even do that? Like that was like.
And I hate when people pretend it's effortless. They're like, "Oh, I've just been adding and doing."
Who name them? Name them. Name them. Name them. Name them.
I just started to be out of the drama. I can't go back in. Joe Rogan.
Because like no good comic says that. Every good comic is like it's like giving birth all over again, and you're like, I'm never gonna be funny again. I don't know what's funny. You're like,
those jokes only worked because they were genius. I can't think of a genius joke, and it's like, no, you're funny.
It takes you a while to like,
let it.
But I think it's good. I always take like at least 6 months afterwards to just like update my software and make sure you're not just doing a bad impression of yourself. Because if you keep going, you're just gonna be like, I'm this person again. Like you want your next one to be different.
Or you're like, I know this joke works if I just change it a little bit, I'll get a laugh. You actually gave me really good advice before my special because I was getting nervous. You're like, whatever you do, don't wear that weird ass corset and do the worm.
Like, I love that you like don't care what you look like. You know what I mean? I just think it's awesome.
I love how you like don't care about punchlines.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just like I love how like conversational it was.
You're so you.
You're like not a fan of Bombay. Like it doesn't make you upset when you just
yeah. No, it was a weird crowd though. Like weird crowd. Like
oh my god, I just felt something physically.
You're just like too smart for them.
They're dumb. Like they're just dumb. No, but I said to you, I was like, I'm nervous, and you were like, you don't have to be.
But who's this? Like, what's this bit? You're nervous. Like, you don't have to do that with me. You don't have to do this.
Are we flirting?
Kind of.
What's happening?
It happened to me when I went on hers.
She goes,
"What puts you in a trance?
What are we? You're gonna do this with me?
What are we?
Like, you're nervous. Like, okay.
Yeah.
In comedy, you fucking up is usually better. It's
hilarious.
It's usually more fun.
It's hilarious. When I did Fallon, I was so nervous about just getting my words. And at one point, I'm doing a joke about my husband having a panic attack, and I fumble a word, and I stop, and I just had a panic attack. And everyone starts dying laughing. That was everyone's favorite moment. So it's so funny
Always.
how like you're a mess up.
Always.
You can play it off.
Always.
And you were still being yourself. So anyway,
Always.
I'm just saying.
And by the way,
you get nervous.
if there's a problem, you just cut it out and no one ever knows it happened.
Oh yeah,
You kill off people.
Huh?
Oh.
I just mean, even if there's a moment in your special where you screw up, you just cut it out.
Yes. I was
I mean?
referring to P. Diddy.
Oh, what? Say it again. I can't.
Diddy. She goes, if something goes wrong, I go, you kill them.
Dude, is this about to go crazy? Is like J-Lo gonna go to jail?
Well, yeah, can we discuss?
Please, allegedly.
Allegedly, there's a list coming out, right? And they're making sure they're not putting out the list loosey-goosey.
It's not even just a list. It's like, did Jay-Z put Aaliyah on a faulty plane on purpose? Allegedly. It's like that.
Oh.
This is wild.
I know.
Kim Porter, she dead.
She's dead.
Gone.
Yeah.
Wild. What?
You ever go to a party?
Oh, hilarious. No, they don't invite me to shit like that.
But you've been to some parties with the really cool people.
Yeah, but I've never seen anything crazy. Like one time at Chelsea Handler's house, like Jane Fonda was like dancing on a table. I was like, all right, I guess that's supposed to be, you know?
She was just like being free.
I haven't seen anything. I'm trying to think if I did, trust me, I would say it.
See something, say something.
You're like, honestly, I was high.
I've seen
so
I know. I've seen like Married Men on Raya. Like I'm trying
Yeah.
to. I'm dope. I keep nobody's secrets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I could get a viral clip out of it, trust me, I would. I did go to what's his name's house? Val Kilmer's house. I just don't do well around like rich nice things. And I went to Val Kilmer's house when I don't know, I was here for like a couple, I don't know, years in LA. And I had no money and I had ordered, Victoria's Secret used to sell like clothes.
Yes,
Mhm.
from the magazine.
And I got a pair of pants that were like tight, like silk camo pants.
That's something I would wear.
Okay.
Right up your alley.
By the way, I
Can
definitely
you send
threw a
this to
hand.
me?
I went through a Hannah Berner like
A jewel necklace.
totally with like a jersey.
Yes, that's what I would wear.
It's like a trans athlete. You're like a drag queen athlete. It's like giant chandelier earrings with just like a tennis dress.
Yeah.
And
I love
so
him.
I went to his house and I was wearing a red thong underwear. I am never the cool person to party because I was like not doing stand up yet. And I don't know if you remember before you did stand up, you had to be like the funny person at the party before you could like get.
Before they already knew you were.
Now I'm the least funny person at the party. I'm like,
now you're like, you have to pay for funny.
100%. We're not doing bits.
off.
We're not doing.
But I get so much was laugh. You go, are you doing a bit with me?
Dude,
Are you trying to make me laugh?
I'm off. I'm off. I'm off duty, dude. We're not
Are you trying
doing.
to make me laugh right now?
We're not doing this.
Stop it.
Fuck out of here.
Stop it.
And so, but I was like Bits McGee before that.
Yes.
To where the point.
That was your open mic.
That was it. When people would be like, you should really try stand up. That's the way of saying like you're too much. And so like get this out of your system somewhere else. So I was like funny dancer on the floor doing like the crab walkers and like going down and I splint my pants wearing a red thong so it looked like I just had like a bloody ass.
That's crack.
Wait, that's trauma.
And I went into Val Kilmer's closet and got a shirt and tied it around my to like cover it. It didn't seem weird to like take I don't know.
Yeah, he wouldn't know.
And then like kept dancing and he didn't talk to me, but at the end of the night I was like, oh, this is your shirt. I took it from your closet. He was like,
empty out your pocket.
it was wild. I was like, I'm a really big fan. I don't know. It was just like a nightmare. A nightmare. And he's like, I shouldn't have invited a brunette. Like I felt it. I felt it.
That Netflix brunch was like crazy with all the famous people.
Yeah.
And my agent.
You were very rattled or something. Not rattled.
Well, no one told me what it was. So it's the first time I did the Netflix as a joke festival. It was early anyway. And my agent was like, do you want to come to this brunch thing? And I was just like, sure, I'll wear
At
a
the
napkin.
head of Netflix's home.
And no one tells me.
Oh, wow.
And you walk in and they're hanging like you're in high school and the cool kids are talking. And you're an 8th grader that somehow got in there. And my thing is, I don't give a about. I don't get too excited about celebrities, but when it comes to comedians or athletes, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
So I'm.
Because
So
the
you just
problem
don't
is,
fuck with musicians.
well, the problem is with famous comics is they will talk to you.
Oh, well, you do a beeline for me. Says the funniest thing. She goes, has anyone made you feel bad about yourself yet?
You know what that is? That would actually really put me at ease.
I love how I remember everything Whitney's ever said to me. That's so creepy. But she says like one-liners, and I'm like, that's hilarious. And then I end up talking to Jim Gaffigan, whatever. But it was like intense, and my agent kept being like, "You want me to introduce you to John Mulaney?" And I'm like,
don't
"No."
you fucking
I
dare.
literally was like, "No,
Please don't.
no. I want to meet these people. If I'm meant to meet these people organically one day, do not. What am I going to say to John Mulaney?
Nothing.
What am I going to say?
It will only
And if I
go
do say
bad.
something, it will go bad, and then I will repeat it in my head for 3 months. I don't need that.
No.
So I stood back. I waited.
Love Sack Lunch Bunch.
I really liked the joke when you were in rehab, and then you want to be you want people to notice you.
Like, it's just not comics. When we see each other, we're each other's break.
Yes.
And so it's like you go to stand by a comic
Yes.
so that you can not talk to anyone
So
for a minute.
Jim Gaffigan, I did have a good in.
Love Jim.
I looked at him and I said, "Do you know we met before at the stand? You thought I was a waiter." I said, "You asked me to get you water," and I did. And he started laughing. And then I was like, they were best friends the whole day.
And he didn't apologize?
We just started laughing.
That's sick.
But also, like, I could have been like, but I was like ready to go up, and he asked me for water.
Also,
and I know where the water is.
if he asked
we
me
can run it back again today.
If he asked me for water knowing who I was, I'd be like, of course.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
and it was funny. And then I did at one point, I was like, I loved your Hot Pockets bit. Like, growing up, like, that bit raised me. And he was like, I'm not that old.
Oh, dude, that is I literally, as soon as you said that, I
That's
got like
probably
enraged.
tough.
Like,
Yeah.
why would you say that?
I said it raised me, and he's like, I'm not that old. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not that old either. I'm young. But anyway, yeah, you have to be natural, but I won't talk to anyone if it's forced.
Have you had any weird comedian run-ins yet?
You were one of them. I ran up to you and I'm like, I've never said hi to anyone here. Hello, Whitney. And you're like, do you want to take a picture? You seem sweet.
Did I say that?
And you were like, yes. Because like I knew exactly what it was. It was like, okay, just. Oh.
Well, I think I was also like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Not in a mean way, but I'm like, I'm going to go talk to the porn star guy for this. Do we need this?
Oh, yeah.
Is this what we're doing? I don't know. I think when I come into Barstool Sports, I'm a little bit like, I just a little bit have my defenses up.
That's fair. That's
And
fair.
you
I
came running at me that
with
was
the bow
like,
and
help,
arrow.
help. I'm like, does she need help?
Like, help!
She got away.
I don't have.
You got
like,
astray.
yes, you can come live with me. Like, is this? Are you allowed to leave? Is this?
No.
I don't. Do you have to make the shirts? What are they having you do here?
You guys have huge celebrities walk in here, just like random crazy.
It looks
Yeah.
like fucking Gaza Strip. I'm just like, is this an office? Can we just get the shirts off the floor? Like, is this? Why is there Axe body spray everywhere? Like, I don't.
just semen.
There's no. Yeah, let's not take a black light to this way. Like, it just there's. I don't understand what's happening. I think I'm a little bit on edge, maybe, because it feels like a frat house.
I'm
that's
only
fair.
allowed to do the girl podcast. When I come in, we cannot call her daddy. There's our chicks in the office, and no one else acknowledges me.
I've done some other ones that I don't know where they air. I don't know. I'm like, what is the sport of Barstools? The sport is figuring out where they air. Is it on a website? Is it on an app?
They have a blog.
What?
I know.
I used to write a
They
few.
blog.
But where's the channel? Is it a
BarstoolSports.com
So everything's on the. I did.
or YouTube.
I came here for a website
No, it goes on Apple Pods too.
with no video,
And it was Apple, YouTube,
Sometimes
Spotify, you know.
and then I
oh,
come
and
on
Rumble. We love Rumble.
Rumble,
Mhm.
where Russell Brand runs it. I guess
Big deal with Rumble.
And to me, I can't understand. I'm too whatever it is. I come on the podcast and it's two guys I've never fucking heard of, and they have 9 energy drinks. I'm like, who's buying your energy
I'm
drink?
the dudes.
But I'm
we
like,
only have liquid brand.
I'm like, wait, you've got a vodka? I'm like, what? You're 22.
Everyone's just snorting energy drinks.
I'm just like, what do you need all this energy for? You're not an athlete. No
Don't
one's.
put that stuff-
No one's drafting you. Like
Wait,
what?
Chris should come and do some Barstool Pods because he's
He
a
really should.
skateboarder. Does he know Tony?
Hawk, yeah, very well.
You
That's
know
my
him
only
like Tony
question.
like that?
That's so
This is
funny.
me doing crowd work. Do you know Tony? That's all I have.
That was wild.
So here's the deal. Fall is my favorite season for fashion because I love a brown. I love a rust, double Virgo here. I like a creamy beige All right. I like being all cozy, cozy. It makes me feel like Katharine Hepburn or something, you know? Quince, thank you for existing because I couldn't do it without you. Quince makes it so easy to get high quality, affordable wardrobe essentials. There's like this cashmere button down sweater. It's $50, by the way. I'm getting it for all my friends for Christmas. It is the cutest thing. No one is cozier than me. No one's cuter than me. I am just the most adorable fashion forward teddy bear you've ever met in your life. Here's the thing about Quince. Their prices are 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Why? How? They partner directly with top factories and cut out the middleman, passing those savings on to us. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices. What a concept! No children's fingers are going to be in the pocket of your new pants. Get cozy with Quince's high quality wardrobe essentials. Head to quince.com/Whitney, quince.com/Whitney for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's quince.com/Whitney for free shipping and 365-day returns. Okay, I don't have a cat, but Hannah Berner and I talk a lot about cats on this episode. And my friend Beth Stern has, Hannah Stocking has a cat. Oh, Miranda Cosgrove has all the cats. And because I do feel a cat is in my future. I just did Jason Ellison's podcast again, and he had all these hairless cats, and I'm this close, Pat. I am this close. Those hairless cats have stolen my heart. I don't know what it is about them. I don't know if the uncircumcised nature of their bodies, there's something about it. I'm obsessed. But so I keep asking them, I'm like, what's the deal? Smalls, cat food, okay? Because all my friends, they complain nonstop about how the cat, because that's my main thing. I'm like, I don't want my house to smell like liver. You know what I mean? When you walk into someone's house and it's just cat. The smell is my problem. And I think it's the food, all that nasty, like wet food in the cans. If you do Smalls cat food, your house is not going to stink like a bog of eternal stench. Smalls cat food is made with preservative-free, high-quality ingredients that you'd find in your own fridge. It's delivered right to your door. The cats love it. It's just, if you put Smalls cat food next to the cat food you're using, the cat will be like, bile cat food. Smalls was started in 2007 by a couple of guys home cooking cat food in small batches for their friends, and now they're serving millions of meals to cats across the U.S. After making the switch, 88% of cat owners report overall health improvements. That's a big deal. We love this. We love Smalls. Now is the time to make the switch to Smalls for your cat. Head to smalls.com. Use promo code Whitney at checkout for 50% off your first order plus free shipping. That's promo code Whitney for 50% off your first order plus free shipping.
You having to cover up your tattoo was a new thing that I found out about.
Why was that such a big deal?
That really blew my mind. I've never heard that before.
Because, okay, so do you remember The Hangover? Remember
Yes.
when Mike Tyson or Ed Helms got a tattoo, Mike Tyson's tattoo?
Yeah.
The artist sued them and made, I think it was $300,000 in the lawsuit because tattoos are original art. Right? And if you put original art in a production, you have to license it. So, when you watch like a TV show and the art in the background just like sucks balls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they can't put real. Yeah.
It's
so,
like music.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like art can't be. And it's obviously like a little bit, it's like wild with like podcasts and stuff like that Miranda Cosgrove sound on TikTok. What's your favorite curse word? Probably like I own that, but I like never got any money from it, and so many people made so much money off it. So I could technically like, sue them, but like, what am I going to sue China? Like in what world? Just dart hits me in the neck. Like, can you? Well, I did try. By the way, I did try to sue Akon, by the way. I spent $8,000 not suing Akon.
Wait,
that's rich people. She's like,
this is how petty I am.
What did Akon do?
Dude, Akon.
I love Akon, by the way. Don't talk bad about him.
Oh,
I love him.
I will fight you right now because Akon is the only
that
motherfucker.
girl is dangerous. That girl
Oh
is
no,
so
the
dangerous.
guy is a hit maker, okay?
Yeah.
But remember when he brought a like 14-year-old on stage and was like humping her on stage? It was like a whole saga. And then he said that women, can you just look up Akon quote women in the kitchen? It was something like that. And then I do believe women should be able to feed themselves, Hannah. I do think you should learn to cook something at some point.
Okay, how am I getting attacked? I know how to cook a microwave. Okay?
You're like, I don't cook, I don't clean. I agree with Akon.
I know Uber Eats, bitch. Okay, and I got a code and
you
everything.
do get men to deliver your food on a bicycle.
So you sued him because he hurt your feelings
No,
about
he
women.
took the Miranda Cosgrove saying probably he made a song called "What Are We Gonna Do Tonight," and then it's her going probably
Yeah, and you own the audio.
And I own the audio. And I wouldn't have cared. I'm like, honestly, anytime a Black person wants to take something from me, I'm like, reparations, I did. Fine. If Rihanna wants it, fine. SNL used it with Lizzo, fine. Don't care. But as soon as like Akon, it was more about being protective of Miranda Cosgrove. It's like, she's just like, she has this, if she wants to say that and do it, fine. But I just didn't feel comfortable that she was on my thing.
Yeah.
And then it's all about fucking. Do you know what I mean?
She never consented to that.
Do you know what I'm
context has changed.
Just give Miranda money. Just give her it was her voice. People are, whatever. And then, it was just so like pervy and gross. And she's just this wholesome angel. And I was just like, I just felt bad. Like I should at least try.
She only does hand stuff.
How do you know that?
I don't even know that. I don't know. I don't even want to picture this. And
I've never met her. I love you, Miranda.
And when I tell you,
Akon.
the person that went to go like sue him, his lawyer basically said to my lawyer, like, get in line.
Oh.
Like it was basically like
we're too busy.
Like we have so many lawsuits to deal with. Like we'll get to this in like 3 years, but they took it down.
You're about to host something, right?
Yeah, I did it. I just shot it. I'm hosting the Friends game show.
Can you talk about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like people just at a time where everything is so divisive. It's just like a very wholesome game show about the show Friends, and big Friends fans come on and we like take them through an escape room and like their Friends trivia knowledge.
Do you enjoy hosting?
Love it. I was like built in a lab to do it, I feel like.
Yeah.
I'm not good at a lot of things. I always said I'm going to wait to host. What?
I laugh when you say I'm not good at a lot of things.
I'm not good at a lot of things. When I say I'm good at something, it sounds arrogant. So I'm like, I'm not good at most things, eye contact, but like hosting, I really enjoy.
But if you think about like stand up, like we're literally hosting our own party, doing a speech for the whole time.
And it's also just like doing crowd work because it's like people that are contestants and you're just asking them questions and like
and you're good at being a leader.
And they have such a better sense of humor about themselves than I'm so over actors at this point. I'm like, wait, why would they get paid to lie? They get awards for pretending.
Don't talk about my preparation.
I just am like working with actors. I'm like, can't you act like you're cool?
Yeah, that's the.
I've been watching the Menendez brothers.
Tell me everything.
So the interviews, the actual actors, one of them, Cooper Koch or Hodge, he's this adorable gay guy who's giggly. The
Who's
other, he plays.
This is the Ryan Murphy one that the Menendez brothers didn't like. This rendition of it.
But then the one who played Lyle. Everyone's loving him too. Everyone loves both of them, but one of them in real life.
The Menendez brothers don't like the show.
No, because they weren't showing everything. I have the new one is coming out, but I saw an old documentary.
Oh, got it.
In the interviews though with the actors, one of them is like hilarious gay guy, and the other one is like such an artist.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, so Ryan Murphy worked out like to look hot for a Ryan Murphy role, and he's like, when I looked at the character, and like, but I'm like, you're acting like an actor.
You're wearing makeup.
You're acting like an actor.
Was it actor breath when they're like, actors are proud of themselves.
Hey, we're going to war in 2 months. Is this what is this what's fighting for us? This
actors will literally be like, after acting, I feel like they all hang out and they're like, you were unbelievable out there. You transcended the art of movie making. Or I feel like comics, like you do the best hour of your life and you'll come out and I'll be like, you little piece of shit. And you'll be like, that wasn't good. And I'm like, oh, it's all good. And you'll be like, I fucking sucked out there. But that's comics.
3 specials so far. They tried to shoot afterwards. Like there was this trend of like shooting a little cold open or like shooting at the end, like you coming off stage being like, yeah. So they had a camera waiting for me, to like, as I came off stage. Each time I would come off stage, like standing ovation, whatever, just because it's our special, whatever. I would come off stage and be like,
mental break.
And then, fully just like, and then I was like, and literally I would look up at the camera and they were like it wasn't even usable.
Actors would be like,
yeah, I know, you're going to bow. I'm literally like, sorry. I'm so sorry.
You start apologizing to everyone.
Literally, like, we can't air that. Like that, just tearing myself apart. And like
the second I finished my special, everyone like went back, like we're going to party. I was lying on the couch like this.
Yeah. Like,
they're like, you don't want a cake? And I was like,
yeah, no, it's another night. I like to make it just another night of work. Do you know what I mean?
I'm working. I'm like, I have to go to sleep now.
Yeah.
Good night. So anyway, actors and comedians are very different, but I would like to get into acting.
Yeah, no, I love acting. But here's what I like. I like that when you start doing podcast, you start getting cast more as like characters closer to yourself, which this girl, Kate Siegel, I cannot stop talking about her because she was my high school nemesis in the best way. Like we were both being groomed by the same theater teacher and we both wanted him to love us. He did end up giving one of the exchange student AIDS and
on brand.
Not us. And he didn't
You're
pick
jealous. You're jealous.
He didn't pick either of us. So we like bonded over that. She was like, I couldn't get an acting job. She was like, I was always so nervous when I went into auditions and I was always so scared and desperate to get the job that I decided to start just going out for desperate, nervous characters. And that's when I started working. And she plays like in horror movies, like scared and anxious and desperate, and she's amazing. So it's like, I think you're gonna like going in and being like, I'm the Queen of England. Get the fuck out of here. Like, what are we doing?
No, I definitely like the first audition I ever did was like a Southern Belle, and I was like, can I not? And they were like, it's good practice, and I was like, oh.
No, embarrassing. No.
How y'all doing?
Yeah, do it.
Hi, my name's Hannah, and I'm from the South, and I love grits, and I love to feed my men and make sure they're strong when they go out to war. And I miss them when he leaves.
Passing.
Is this like 1400s, like Antebellum?
Scarlet.
Oh, I've got the vapors. Like,
that was good. She goes, thank you, I'm an actress.
She's an actress.
I'm an actress. Okay, the first time I saw her, the first time we met, she did a thing called The Female Brain, a movie that was spectacular.
Yes, I know.
And I went to the screening, and afterwards I walked up to her and I said, it's so amazing what you're doing for female directors, and you were so nice, and you hugged me, and I was like, and then I walked off and I was like, Whitney's my favorite person ever.
Oh, come on. It was at the Wing, right? Didn't that get closed for
Yeah.
being like racist?
Yeah.
The theater itself.
I walked in there, I was like, this smells fishy, dude.
It's giving Scientology.
Any like workspace for women.
They were like, only women are allowed. And
It's always top anything. I'm like, this is, I don't know, man.
But it was a great movie, and it was so funny because you were very professional. Like in your speech, you were.
Beanie Feldstein was there.
Yes. It was great. The whole thing was great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's back when you could like believe in gender.
The Female Brain would have gotten canceled today.
To imply that
What
men and
kind of
women
brain?
have differences got a little awkward. Yeah, that was wild. That's so funny. I kind of remember that.
Vaguely.
But I don't know why I'm like, acting is no, but I'm like, I think it's better to go just write a movie for yourself.
Well,
like, by the way, that's what I did. That's why I made a sitcom.
Yeah.
My beloved sitcom. Everybody loved it. Actually, it's weirdly people like love it again.
It's a cult classic.
Multi-cams are like coming back big with cults. Yes, just playing on Jared Leto's island. I have questions about that island.
That's nice.
Do you know about that island?
No, but he did. I met him once at a comedy club because he was like, Jared Leto, he'll occasionally just do time on people's shows. And they were like,
what?
He was working on something, and I was doing like the improv or something, and they were like, Jared Leto's gonna do like 20 minutes up top. And I was like, is he sure?
No, he's not.
Is he? Oh, wait, not
There's
Jared Leto.
no-
I'm talking about, not Jared Leto.
Jeremy
There's no
Piven.
way he likes
No,
to
I
laugh.
was talking.
He wants to kill.
I'm talking about the guy with the big chin. What's his name?
Jay Leno?
Jesus H. Christ.
Oh, Hannah.
I can see how you could get there.
I've had a long day.
The fact that you like Jay Leno has an island and you like skip past it.
I never was invited when he came to open for me.
Okay, I was at the Netflix brunch and I wasn't invited to Jay Leno's island.
No, Jared Leto for sure has a cult.
Yeah, no, he has all of his fans come to an island and they all wear the same. And you know what? This is my thing about Diddy. Anytime you get homework for a party, dude, this person's off. Wear this. Where everyone's wearing this color. Everyone's wearing this color. It's so that on the surveillance cameras you can't tell who's who. I'm just saying it's
I saw that on
weird.
TikTok.
I don't like you telling me what it's.
I hate a theme.
Controlling.
I hate a theme.
I'm almost fine with.
I like
80s, 90s, fine, but like
Keep it
everyone.
general.
Everyone needs to wear this color. Like, what if I don't have a bat? I have to go to a store for
Have
your
you been
fucking-
to that Hamptons white party?
I don't do the Hamptons. Don't get it.
I'll change your mind.
I don't get it. It's cosplay. Rich people cosplay as farmers. Like, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It's
It's like
true.
how like rich politicians pretend they like understand middle America.
It's basically rich people being like, I don't want to hang out in the dirty city during the summer,
Mhm.
so I'm gonna just have be by the water and like not have. I'm gonna deal with but in a prettier place.
But I don't. It just shat what.
Well, I was gonna say I made it a point when I moved here. I'm like, I'm never going to the Hamptons. The Hamptons. That. I got invited this summer. I went twice. I was like, this place rocks.
No, because the city sucks during the summer. That's why the city sucks.
I have to
go out.
I have to hate it because I can't afford it. You know what I mean?
True.
No, I slept on a
Sell
floor.
one horse. Sell one horse.
By the way, I rescue my horses. I got my
Sell your rescue
Hungarian
horse.
warm blood for $1.
Stop spending so much money on Etsy for 1 month.
Would never. I'm supporting
600
Black-owned and women's
notifications.
business. I am supporting small businesses. Sorry,
Not to like
Timu.
defend.
Timu over here.
Wait, for a second, I thought you were calling me the little hippo that everyone's obsessed with.
No!
That's me.
What's it? No, it's not.
No, we're so
That
hard.
everyone's obsessed with. Yes.
Yep.
Wait,
It's funny.
Aren't there other little wet hippos? Like,
You
why
know
are
that
they
hippos
obsessed?
are incredibly violent.
Yeah, yeah. But also, like, is he the only little hippo in this world? Like, why is everyone obsessed with him?
Because
Why am I
because
jealous of the hippo?
hippos.
I know, honestly, I met him. Not that nice.
Honestly, like
It's the whole deal. And like, someone writes his jokes for him.
You also can't drive.
honestly, like trending. Like,
Talk about hack.
but also it's because there's never baby hippos born in zoos because it's abuse and they don't procreate in captivity. So it's very rare that
You are literally Zoolander.
there's like they don't because it's same with elephants, so they have to artificially inseminate them and they usually kill their babies. And this is the one that they were able to get out before the mom killed it.
Can you play a zookeeper?
I
Head
don't
of the
fuck with
zoo.
zoos, but
But no, like a sanctuary.
sanctuaries are normally
We bought a zoo
scams.
part 2.
Sanctuaries are scams.
Most of them are scams. Most charities are scams as well.
Really?
Money laundering scheme, tax evasion. I'm just saying. Am I wrong?
No,
If you're a sneaky,
Where do I donate?
I'm saying a sneaky person. If you're a sneak, this whole thing happens around you. I start pulling out weird burns. I'm like, this guy's a dud.
You little sneak.
Like, what? This guy, if I was a sneak,
You numbskull.
you
scallywag.
if you're gonna commit some skullduggery, do you know what I mean? But I'm saying if you're a
Puts.
uh
Go Yiddish.
if you're a pissant, you know what you this is about,
I love this.
you know
It gets me good.
We ran out.
if you're
We can't think of
a
any more.
bum.
Oh my god, he's a bum.
I love bum.
I love bum.
I love bum.
That's what my parents would say about my exes.
If you're a sneak, the first thing I would do if I was a bad person is
Start
start
a
a
religion.
charity.
Start a church.
Start a
Church is-
charity, but
church-
church
charity
too.
church. A charity church.
That's pretty
No
good.
taxes.
I
That's pretty
do
good.
want
Too.
when
Mudang.
I want to eventually paint and have like save a bunch of cats and pit bulls, but they can't be in the same place.
Can I just ask you a question?
Yes.
Are cats?
We don't have enough time. We don't have enough time for me.
Isn't it
Next
abuse to
pod-
let them inside? Or shouldn't they
no, good
want to be
question.
outside?
This is the thing with cats. What's cool about them is they're not domesticated like dogs were bred to be domesticated.
Yeah, yeah.
Cats literally choose you. Like they're like, you're my person. They think you're a cat and they're like, I'm obsessed with you.
Okay,
but
is
they'll
that
know-
why they eat you after you die?
That is a made up thing.
I like that that's made up. I'm glad you're saying that. It's a made up thing that pit bulls' jaws lock. That's made up.
Yes.
It's a made up thing
Yes.
that mantises eat their
It's
mate.
made up. But the thing with cats is it's actually statistically cats who are outside will have such a shorter lifespan because they will get hit by cars, they'll get bit by
course.
coyotes, whatever. So like I actually just saved a cat on my porch.
Do you know Beth
couple
Stern,
days
Howard Stern's
ago.
wife?
I need to meet her. That's
Okay.
like on my to-do list, but I have to
She
do
was
it
at the
naturally.
Beacon on
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Saturday.
I have
Or
to do a natural cool thing because I want
Okay.
to like do what she's doing.
Yeah, yeah,
eventually.
yeah.
But yeah, these cats, they'll get sick, whatever. So
Yeah.
there are feral cats that are just like, I don't with humans, and you neuter them and you put them out.
Because here's the thing, the thing that really bothers me is the declawing.
No, do not declaw your cat.
Declawing is
That's
like, and
not
I'm like,
okay.
just don't
There's no reason to declaw your cat.
get a different couch. Don't get a cat if you can't
Yeah.
stand
Also,
your pillow.
put a sticky thing on
You're not
it,
ready
like-
for an animal.
No.
If you're
Mm.
like worried about your cat, who gives a shit?
I'm very pro cat for people who aren't able to like be walking their dog or they don't have
Mm-hmm.
like having a cat lowers your blood pressure, great for
They're
stress. The
I'm
purring.
obsessed with the hairless ones. I am obsessed. I just have dogs that I
The
can't.
thing with the
mix.
pit bulls is sometimes sometimes they are great with cats, but if they're not, they're just so strong.
You just have to raise them together. If they make a mistake,
if they're playing, the cats are just that's where like I get too nervous.
Get the cat and then get the pit bull as a puppy.
It's a whole thing. So anyway, I just love all animals.
Yeah,
and I want to save them all.
And so one time I was weirdly in the Hamptons. And
at the white party.
So I was buying a house in the Hamptons. Sorry, I'm not trying to be relatable anymore, guys.
So exhausting.
Well, here's the other thing.
The mask comes off.
It's like the tie. I know it's getting late. We had to get out of here. But like I went because I would stay at Howard Stern's house.
Can we pod for 1 hour?
I know. I'm sorry.
This is Joe Rogan.
I just miss you. Okay, but I did go, and and there were cats out in because whenever I'm on the West Coast and there's a cat that needs help, I'll help Beth with it, but I don't always know what to do exactly. But I'll like figure out a way. Kat Dennings will step in and help. Miranda Cosgrove is a big cat rescue person, so we kind of like and you put this like network together. And so, but I can't always foster them. The one time I did, it was a serval, a Savannah cat. They're amazing.
Well, they're like a dog.
They're like a panther. They are this big.
They were just chilling?
Dude, because idiots like want to buy exotic animals and they want to buy Savannah cats and they don't understand. They can jump 30 feet. I mean, they can... They will, and if you don't declaw them, they'll ruin your house. You know what I mean? Yeah. So these people got them; they were in over their head. I think Machine Gun Kelly might have one. Bieber has a couple servals. Like they're wild.
So you just see one outside your house?
No. Like I helped get one, and I was like, I want.
LA's wild,
dude, wild. And so and I was in the Hamptons, and I saw these cats outside. And I was like, Beth, we need to rescue these cats. And I like sent her these videos. She's like, no, leave them outside. And I'm like, I don't get it. Yeah. I tried to rescue a cat once in my house, and I found this cat outside. Yeah. And I bring it in, and I'm like, I'm gonna put it on Instagram to get it a home. I've got this cat. I put it on Instagram. DM me. Whatever. I'll do a home visit, and then. My neighbor comes over the next day and is like, do you have my cat? And I was like,
okay. So people were like, did you steal someone's outdoor cat when I took this cat in?
Same.
The cat was not neutered, had big furry balls, and then was like itching and starving. And
if you don't neuter your animal, I hate
so
your guts.
Even if it was someone's animal, you weren't taking care of it.
That's right. That's right.
And your cat was starving.
Right. I do that. I go, if you abuse it, you've lost the right to get it.
No, this cat was not okay.
I've taken dogs from dog parks before.
Have you?
Your dog's not trained. It's going to kill something. And this is why pit bulls get put down, because you haven't trained it. So I'm like, let me just, on me, 30 days, impulse control, I will pay for it, and you will get this dog back in 30 days when you control it, because it's going to bite someone's face off, and then it's going to get put down.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, that was it.
If someone is not taking care of their animal, like, this is going to hurt somebody. It's a weapon. Yeah. Like, this animal's a weapon.
My cat actually was found in a dumpster in the Bronx. Her name's Butter. But I think what happened is she got TNR'd, like trapped, neutered, and then returned, and then somehow I guess got taken again. She's a feral cat, but just as obsessed with me.
Love it.
And
I feel like
she chose me. She was under my friend's bed who was fostering her, and they called me because I know I'm a crazy cat lady.
You do sound kind of crazy.
No, I don't.
I love
that. But I took her, and she falls asleep on my chest, and I'm like, she'll be fine. And then they call me again. They're like, she won't get out from under the bed. I come back to the apartment. She comes back and falls, and I go. I told my roommates are like, can you just get a Tamagotchi? Why do you need to get a cat? And I'm like, this cat chose me, and then she let my husband touch her after he fed her for like 7 months.
So
funny. She finally was like, and now when I leave, she'll cuddle with him. Aww. But when I come back, she pretends they never hooked up.
So funny.
She never slept with him. Like, he'll be like, Butter, we were cuddling yesterday. And she's like, I don't know that man.
Lying bastard.
So the boundaries she has, and like, she respects
Mommy's
herself.
like obsessed with me.
She's like, I was nice to him because he was being sad. But like, so anyway, we can learn a lot from cats.
I love it. Yeah. Okay, I end awkwardly as always. Thank you for doing this. What?
There was no good ending.
No, I don't. There's no such thing as ending a podcast well. No one wants to be like, anyway, guys, like, subscribe. What are we,
and
5?
That's what we wanted to figure out. So
you know what? You guys are better at podcasting. How do you end a podcast? I don't even know.
Smash that like button. Make sure you follow this account.
I can't. I'm from the generation that has shame. I can't say it. I'm like, please, if you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. Whatever you want to do.
Said that. I've literally never said that.
Like, you know what to do, right? Like, if you were going to subscribe, you would have by now. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I can't.
You're like, I'm at the point where I'm not really getting any new fans. So, like,
yeah, no, I plateaued.
You're like, you either know me or you don't. So
That's all.
you
You
guys.
f- with me or you don't. There is
That's a good way to end it.
It gets very freeing. Like when you stop trying, once you're just like, you f- with me or you don't. And that's when everyone starts f***ing with you in a weird way.
It's like dating. Like men can tell when you. Anyway, we can't get into this. Let's talk about men versus women.
Okay, so men and women are different.
Religion is crazy.
Thank you for doing this so crazy.
Oh my
last
God, no,
minute
this is
too.
so
I
much
was like,
fun.
can you guys podcast in 20
No,
minutes?
Whitney in New York doesn't happen a lot. So I was like,
This is wild.
I
This is
wanted to
great.
come
I
through.
know.
I
This is
love
like
it.
I love it here. Can I tell you New York last thing? I was in New York for a year. I tried to have a place here. I was like kind of near Chinatown.
That's where I am.
Like, okay, I was Walker and Broadway, basically right there between Walker and Lafayette, or between Broadway and Lafayette, whatever. And it was like hard. It was just hard. New York for me, if I'm not in love, is so hard.
Wow.
Yeah, it's brutal.
But I'm saying, because you're kind of like, are you the one? Are you the like? There's something
So
weird
many
about
people.
it.
But
And
New York in the fall when you're in love.
when you see someone in love in New York, you're just like,
F- you
you.
guys.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
I literally got cursed out once making out with a guy in a corner. This guy was like, F- you guys. And then like the car stopped and we're looking and he's just looking at us and he goes, sorry, I'm just having a bad day.
That was me.
It was me.
I love that you're like, it's okay, we're not in love. This is a mistake.
I go, literally, I hate this man.
I'm sorry.
Can you help me? This
I've been
isn't
getting gaslit this
consensual.
whole time.
I love you, Grace O'Malley. You will see her with me on the road. I love that I'm doing this as I sign off. It'll be on you. Hannah Berner, I fucking love you, dude. Thank you
love you
so
more.
much. You're
I
just
love
an
you.
angel. Congratulations on your special
Thank
and
you.
the next one coming. But don't rush it.
I won't.
There's no need.
I'm
Why
re-
rush it?
I'm retiring. 2 specials
Dude,
is greedy.
pull a Hannah Gatsby. Just go straight to. We're also shooting mini
quitting.
specials every weekend. I feel like now. Just do mini ones.
Yeah, I'm doing a 5-minute one.
Who cares? I love you. Bye. Don't ride elephants.